The U.S. Department of Transportation says there are more than 200,000 drivers in South Carolina under the age of 19, with newly licensed drivers joining the roadways every single day. Prom season is the time of year with the highest risks for young drivers. So it's important to know how to handle your teen getting into a crash, or if you're involved in a crash with a teenage driver. We're joined right now by attorneys Brandon Dawson and Jeffrey Ward with the Thumbs Up Guide to tell us what we need to know. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Emily.
Great to have you guys here as always. So what happens if you do get into a crash with a teenage driver? Is it their fault? Is it their parents' fault? Tell us what happens.
Yeah, no, obviously kind of a confusing scenario where you're going, all right, well, aren't you normally responsible for your kids? In this situation, the teen driver is the responsible party. Ultimately, if we were going to file a lawsuit, a teen can still commit a tort, as we call it. And so they are the ones responsible. As we all know, the parents are most likely the ones with the insurance. They're the ones that are adding their teen driver to the to their insurance policy, which is when, of course, it always goes up because, as we know, teen drivers are more prone to having accidents. Statistics show that, and that's why you're getting charged more as soon as you have that teen driver on there. And so the insurance company will step in and do exactly what they do. But again, parents need to make sure that they are educating their kids, that they're trying to get them into driver's ed. They're having conversations with them. There's a lot of tools out there that they can access to make sure their kids aren't doing things they shouldn't do. But ultimately, again, the teen driver is the responsible one, as long as they're the one who committed the tortious act.
Are insurance claims handled differently if there is a teen involved?
No, not at all. It's the same thing. It's all about who was responsible for the wreck. If it's a teenager, they're treated just like an adult would be, and it's just the same steps that you would put into filing a claim and reaching a resolution as if it was the parent had been involved. The things you want to look for, though, as Brandon touched on, is what caused them to have the wreck. There's a lot of distracted teenagers out there, and Brandon nailed it. Anything you can do as the parent to limit those distractions, the better, and the less likely they're going to be in a wreck. But teenagers, historically, they drive faster. They're more risk prone. They take more chances.
Right?
Yeah,
They're invincible.
Don't think.
They don't think about the repercussions, and that's just that just comes with being a teenager. And so, unfortunately, more wrecks happen with teens because they don't have the foresight yet to understand if they're driving 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, they're more likely to be in a wreck because they don't have those life experiences yet.
Yeah. What else do you want parents to know about liability before handing over their keys to a teenage driver? I mean, that was a great tip there. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can do all these sort of things. I know when I was a teen driver, there was like safe driving. If you had good grades, send them to driver's ed. There's all these things that can help reduce your insurance rates, and then keeping them from getting into a collision, causing a collision will keep your insurance rates down. I know that's usually one of the biggest sticking points with parents is they're going, gosh, I just added them into my policy and now it doubled. And yeah, because you're more likely as a teenager to get into that collision. So anything you can do to prevent a collision from ever happening, because guess what, if you get into one wreck, all of a sudden those rates that you thought were high are going to get even higher, and then if you get to two wrecks, it'll be even higher than that. My sister's a good example of that. A lot of wrecks, a lot of totaled cars, a lot of high premiums. So those are some things you can do. Is just try to get them in a driver's ed. Make sure that you're having conversations with them about not being distracted, about driving the speed limit, limiting people in the car. Jeff was talking about some apps out there that you can do these days. Back in the 90s, there weren't those things that they have today.
Yeah, and also just being a good example when you're driving too. You stay off your phone to make sure that your child knows.
Yeah, especially now that the law is in full effect. You're getting ticketed now if you're on that phone.
Yeah, Brandon nailed it though. The apps that are available, the technology in the cars, you can restrict how fast a teen can drive. It'll alert you if they go over a speed limit. You can put apps on the phone to track where they are. I know that's kind of Big Brother, and I don't like thinking about life that way, but you want to protect your child. You don't want them hurting somebody else. So anything you can do to prevent that wreck, the better off you'll be.
Definitely some great tips there. Thank you guys both so much. And if you want to get in touch with the Thumbs Up Guides, you can do so by going to inpain.com or by calling that number. Also, give them a follow on social media. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Emily.